still hanging on by a thread. Rescue me.
First thing we're going to do is start draining down the pond so we can get all the rock work out of there. We're going to use a couple pumps to drain this down real quick. Here we have some of the previously existing rock work, and we're really getting down to the point where we're almost down to the liner. We've removed quite a bit of the rock work. We have a little more to go, plus the gravel, and then the liner will come out and we'll start excavation. Okay, we got our rock work out. We have our gravel taken out. And now we have our underlayment and our liner taken out too. We're down to bare bottom. So everything's taken out. As you just saw, we're down to the bare bottom. I'm going to lay out the areas that we're going to excavate and change the interior of this, and we'll get moving on the excavation part of it. Okay, so now we have all of our different depth elevations painted out, and we're going everywhere from along the sides to your right. There are 6-inch shelve areas where we're going to create bogs, down to the 10-inch area. Then we're dropping down to 20, 30, 40, and 50-inch depths. All are going to step down, should have a really nice design to it. And we're widening the pond, making it deeper, making it bigger. It's going to look beautiful.
Don't ever leave me alone. And I was caught in the clouds, spiraling down, twisted and tangled along.
Well, the dig out is pretty well underway. We've made some good progress here. We're doing this all by hand. This is really heavy clay. So we're trying to dig it out from here by hand because we can't get a machine in. I don't think my guys are loving me right now, but hey, this is the way ponds are built. So stick around, we're going to keep this going here, and pretty soon we'll have it dug out and get ready for the underlayment, the liner, and then we'll start rocking.
On by a thread, rescue me again.
Once the liner's in, I'll paint out areas where we plan on putting the bigger stones, and I also get into place where we're putting our fish ponds. We have our 4 caves in place, trying to locate them in areas where it still gives good visibility for the pond owner, but also gives low visibility for predators.
Rescue me again. I'm still hanging on by a thread. Rescue me again. Baby, please come back to bed. You're keeping my hope.
Here's our rocks and gravel. I got about an additional 8 tons of material, some nice big boulders to offset the small rocks that are currently in the pond. This should mix really well and make a great display. Now we have everything rocked in, we're going to continue to wash it down a little bit and get our plants installed as well. In the bog areas we created along the edge of the pond, we're using a combination of hardy aquatic plants. Some of the classics like canna, pickerel, dwarf cattail, and as well as an assortment of irises. Here's one of our fish caves. Now we've taken rock work and we disguised that heavy-duty material that we're using, and I'll show you the inside. What these fish caves are allowing the fish to do is have an area to get out of the sun, to hide from predators, to come inside and congregate, talk about their owners, and they can swim right through here. And they can come on through, and I'll be waiting for them. Not really, actually. But it's a really nice way to give the fish somewhere to go and hide. To get out of the hard daylight sun, to get away from predators if they feel threatened. And it looks pretty too. So it's functional and it's beautiful. Okay, so right now we're working on our waterfall area, and when building a waterfall like this, I'm going to try to place all my big pieces first. So I have 3 big stones that we got in place, and from there I'm going to fill in with smaller stone to create the different cascades. So with the 2 outputs, I have water coming over this stone and over this stone, and both of them will feed over to here and whatever other filler rocks we get in place. A big part of building a successful waterfall is a good plan and a good design, but also we use waterfall foam. This helps us control where the water goes to, and we fill our nooks and crannies with this foam. It's a triple expanding foam, similar to what you see in Home Depot for home insulation, but this is fish safe. The other one is not. So you want to make sure if you're going to foam something, you're using something fish safe. When using the foam, you want to make just enough to make BJ proud. No more, no less. You want to fill in the areas to make sure water is not coming through those cracks and openings, and you're pretty good. And here's an example of how we're foaming. You can see the foam in between the rocks, and what that's doing is forcing that water over the rocks, not in between them, around them, or behind them like water would like to do. We're getting this filled up now. Water levels rising.
Rescue me again. I'm still hanging on by a thread. Rescue me again. Baby, please come back to bed.
We also reinstalled a very rustic gravel pathway here going along the back edge of the pond, which allows you to see some of the landscape that we put up against the house and brings you over to the edge of the other side. We created a seating area, which is a feeding station along the side of the pond, right next to a weeping cherry. And beside that, we installed landscape of different type, including bamboo screening in the background, which is evergreen and has a beautiful sound when the breeze is blowing through it, right in front of our waterfall area. The waterfall has about 17,000 gallons per hour moving through there, and we have different types of plants inside of it that can take that type of water activity. And then going out into the pond, we've started doing all sorts of different plantings, such as lilies, and in our bog areas, we just have a whole assortment of different type of plants all the way around the pond. So it's really starting to shape up and look good, and the fish are doing well too. What we're stocking the pond with are substantial in size. We have fish up to 30 inches in here, about 20 pounds. They're beautiful, huge guys. And then of course we got a whole mess of little guys inside here as well. Small koi, even goldfish as part of the population of this pond.
Once is never enough. I don't know.